Rajon Rondo is the perfect pickup for the Los Angeles Lakers to make another championship run. Yo guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to talk about why Rajon Rondo is such an essential part for the Lakers to make another championship run in the upcoming 2021-2022 season. A lot of people think that Rondo is kind of washed. His time with the Hawks wasn't that eventful, and his time with the Clippers, especially in the playoffs, kind of fizzled out. It seemed after Game 5 against the Mavs when Kawhi had that legendary air ball, it seemed like Kawhi was not happy that he was given the ball in the corner, and as a result he lashed out at Rondo in front of everyone. And then of course Rondo did the same thing and lashed out at Kawhi. It was an interesting back and forth considering they were down 3-2 to the Mavs at the time, but bottom line is this: Kawhi just didn't get it done and Rondo is expecting more from him. As a result, he started getting DNPs, barely played, and in this past offseason he was pushed out. They traded him to the Grizzlies for Eric Bledsoe, but he didn't want to play with the Grizzlies because just like everyone, we want Rondo in the playoffs, and I think that's where he wants to go as well. Almost immediately after he got released, it was leaked that he's going right back to the Lakers for a minimum. I could not be surprised, and honestly, if it wasn't for the money, I think he would have re-signed with the Lakers after that championship run. But you can't blame him for trying to get 10 million, like come on. But why is Rondo so essential to the Lakers trying to win another championship? Well, it's simple. He's the only player that thinks like LeBron. He's the only player that facilitates like LeBron. He's the only other floor general on the team other than LeBron. I know it's a bold take, but I don't really think Westbrook is a floor general. Now, what do I mean by floor general? In my eyes, a floor general is someone who plays the game of basketball like it's chess. It's a strategic component. I mean, just listen to Rondo talk about how he thinks of the game, especially in the playoffs.
I think people close to you think you could be a head coach one day. What do you think?
Absolutely, I'll coach. Like it's whether it's chess or Connect Four, it's a game, a strategy game, a mind game, and especially in the playoffs, that's what I love the most. Is, you have to counter. Each game is different. And I think that's when the coaching style really comes into play in the playoffs.
And he's not the only one that thinks like that. LeBron does as well. That's why they mesh together so flawlessly, is because it's because they have the same mind, the same thinking, the same thought process, and it just aligns really well. Just look at this game winner against Denver. What you have to understand is before this inbound play, there was no timeout, there was no set play. It was just kind of impromptu. Rondo was inbounding, and everyone assumed that LeBron was getting the ball. But for some reason, LeBron made eye contact with Rondo, and they both were on the same page. They knew exactly where the ball was going to go and who it was going to. And it went to Anthony Davis. And he hit the shot that probably sealed that series. That's what I mean by they mesh together so well. They just give one look to each other in the most crucial point in the game, and boom, they're in each other's minds. What Rondo brings to this roster is different from like playoff Rondo or the statistics. Just look at these two clips of him putting his team in a position to make a play or for the win.
7 rebounds. But look at him directing traffic. He's the floor general from the start, telling people where to go. Look at him. Yeah, you come up, KCP. Caruso, you go to the corner. I'm going to run this, and then I'm going to throw the ball in to Dwight Howard and get you an open shot in the corner. I mean, he's just a coach on the floor. Does a great job of understanding the game.
And the Kings are going to have DeMarcus Cousins. Now he's confused with Willie Cauley-Stein. Look at Rondo saying to Marcus, don't worry about the middle. You go guard the corner. Look at Rondo. Look at him directing traffic.
Yeah, he knows it. He don't care if they get a layup.
And the Kings are going to win the game. It's all over. They beat the Atlanta Hawks.
In both clips, as the commentator said, it's like he's a coach for the team. Even when he doesn't have the ball in his hands like a traditional point guard would, he's a floor general. He's making moves, moving his rook, moving his queen, and trying to get the ball in the best position possible so it can be a highly efficient shot. Now these are only two clips, but he does this almost all the time. Honestly, one of my guilty pleasures is just watching him operate like this on the offensive end. just making all these shifty moves, redirecting the offense. And I mentioned that LeBron has the same skill set, but whenever he goes to the bench, there's a reason the team suffers, because they don't get that same input when he's on the bench, the same effect. Having a coach-like player on the floor, Chris Paul, Draymond, Rondo, LeBron, makes a massive impact to your team's success, which is why LeBron goes on the bench, Rondo comes on. And then Rondo will floor general his way into getting efficient shots up, whether it's taking advantage of mismatches, pointing people to go in the corner, or just doing what he usually does with the ball in his hands and make plays. A lot of people have issues with the fact that Rondo and Westbrook are on the same team. And I agree, they're two different complete players. While one plays a slow game with his mind, the other plays a really fast game with complete brute force. But that's not necessarily a wrong thing. If you could use that brute force the right way, it could be a lethal weapon. And that's what I think LeBron sees in Westbrook, and I'm sure Rondo sees the same thing. It'll come down to if Westbrook wants to be used as that destructive weapon, and we will see who it destroys, the Lakers or the other teams. So despite being 2 years older, do you think Rondo can have the same impact he did for the Lakers when they won the championship? Let me know in the comments below. Other than that, I made another Lakers video. You can check it out here. And if you made it to this point, you might as well like the video and subscribe, because I'm going to keep making them. See you later.